Hey everyone, my name is Simpzy. How you all doing? Welcome back to some more Crusader Kings 3 here today on the channel. We're going to be starting a brand new campaign series as Aegon the Conqueror. The main objective of this series is to bring fire and blood, conquer the Seven Kingdoms, found King's Landing, and start the Targaryen dynasty. We're playing as Aegon and his sister wives Visenya and Rhaenys. Let's go. Alright, welcome to the campaign map. Now we are using a sub-modded campaign, which is bookmarks on the Dragon update, so there is a possibility that there's going to be bugs and issues, but we're going to try our best to hopefully have a stable campaign. We'll see how we go. So, King Aegon now sits in Dragonstone with Balerion, Vhagar, and Meraxes. And we're going to look to try and bring the Seven Kingdoms to heel. We'll see how we go. We'll try and follow the canon approach as much as we can. But hey, this is Crusader Kings 3, the sandbox experience. Anything can really happen. But here are the dragons. Let's go. Alright, so martial-wise, I think we want to go down Gallant and continue there. 22 martial with Aegon. 15 stewardship. 12 intrigue. Nothing too crazy. Okay, let's go through some of the current situations. So Aegon, as he is of the Valyrian subculture, he can have multiple wives. We could look to bring more wives in, but I think Visenya and Rhaenys is fine. We do have my rumoured illegitimate brother, Lord Robert Baratheon. We want to try and marry him to the Durrandon Princess of the Stormland and form House Baratheon. We also could form an alliance with Daemon of House Velaryon. So Visenya is our queen. Orys is the hand of the king. Lord Crispin Celtigar is our master of coin. We've also got Maegor as the master of laws. Quentin Corus is our Maester at Arms. We might look to breed into House Celtigar and House Velaryon at some point. House Coes, however you say it. Bazaria. Okay, we probably need to get a better Master of Whisperers eventually. We got a dwarf. But here is Dragonstone in Crusader Kings 3. Aegon has sent the ravens out to the Seven Kingdoms, saying to bend the knee, and now is going to take up the dragon banners as he looks over the painted table. So, we'll try and burn Harrenhal, we'll try have the Field of Fire, and we'll try and make the other houses bend the knee, but we'll see how we go. Okay, so we don't have a crown at the moment, no armor, no trinkets, haven't got any dragon eggs just yet. We'll just have to wait until Balerion and Vhagar start laying. But here is the Conqueror, dripped out in red. I do wish Daenerys in the show was dripped out in more red and black. Okay, so this is what we currently control. So we've got the Stormlands to the south, with Storm King Argilac. Who else we got? We got King Mern of House Gardner in the Reach. We've got Princess of Martell, Lauren of the Rock, Harren the Black of House Hoar, King in the Vale. The Iron Islands is split up. We still got the Greyjoys and Pike, House Harlaw, and then we've got Torrhen Stark in the north. So firstly, let's go after some of these smaller independent realms which have ceded from House Hoar, just in and around what will become the Crownlands. So let's push over and try and bring them under our direct control. Then we'll make our way down and land near King's Landing and make the Aegon Fort. Okay, so it seems like I guess we're better off doing it this way. We can seize those. It's only 90 prestige. And then these three houses down in the south as well. Alright, let's push north with Aegon's 10,000 or so. He only landed with 9,000, but we do have something that the other lords in Westeros don't have. Dragons. Balerion the Black Dread. And Vhagar. And Meraxes. Okay. So, they're going to capitulate soon. Alright, nice. The Den is going to fall under Aegon occupation. Okay. So we've had a son. So Rhaenys has had a son. Let's call him Aenys. That's what their son was called. Aegon only had 2 children. Aenys and Maekar. We can start forming the Kingsguard now. Faith of R'hllor, though. I think we can find better quality candidates eventually. Alright, let's push up and try and take the Needle Water Stronghold. As Visenya rains hellfire upon Vhagar. Right, so 2 lords have fallen under the Iron Throne's occupation. They would not submit to the will of the dragon. Peacefully, only by force. Okay, still need to keep an eye on our prestige. Let's move down to Hayford now and try and bring in the 3 lords just south of Harrenhal. House Cressy. Let's look to seize the Hyde Lordship and we'll try and divvy out these lands to more loyal houses. We can go after 3 at a time, I believe. Alright, let's move north. Shouldn't be too overly complicated going after these smaller minor lords, as we have dragons at the end of the day. And they also don't, well, have them. And they've got no major houses or kingdoms backing them just yet. Okay, so if we can continue like this, just taking a couple more settlements, the Crownlands will be fully under Aegon's control. Nice. So Visenya has had a son, and we're going to call this little fella Maegor. Now, hopefully he doesn't become, well, cruel in this series, I suppose. We might need to send him to the wall or the citadel. I haven't decided just yet. Okay, let's speed things up. Inflict some minor dragon damage. He's now been captured. Perfect. And we're sitting at 14 titles now. So, I'm not sure if this is a bookmark bug, but these houses should have basically been under the control of House Hoa, which rules the Riverlands and the Iron Islands under one entity. Okay, that's now done, this little war, and okay, so the Lord of Strongcliff has rebelled. Let's move up there, stop this minor rebellion, and where do we need to take? Okay, we need to take the Whispers. Rhaenys has had another son, as we've been nicknamed the Strong Dragon. We could go with Ares. So we got Aenys, Aegon, Maegor, Ares, sure. We're starting to have a bunch of children now, which is nice. The House of the Dragon is growing. Whoa. Viserio, a leper Kingsguard member. That's kind of cool. Very bold, King Baldwin with that mask. Okay. So what province here isn't under our control? Alright, let's try and run down this. Perfect. He's going to capitulate now. Oh my god, we're being raided by House Hoa. Holy yikes. There's 37 Ironborn that have just like rocked up at Dragonstone. Well, under Harren the Black. After seeing smaller houses in the Crownlands capitulate and bend the knee. King Harren the Black hasn't officially declared war, but he sent a raiding party against Aegon. Well, there's only one way to deal with him. Fire and blood, I suppose. Yeah, I don't know if we can do anything about this raid party here. Alright, here is the House of the Dragon, the Targaryen dynasty. Visenya only has one son with Aegon Maegor, but he has a bunch of children with Rhaenys. Maybe their fertility is both slightly different. Unfortunately, there hasn't been any daughters though, so Aegon can't combine all those claimants and lines just yet. Alright, I think it's time to make plans and preparations to go against the Kingdom of the Trident. Harwin is now king. I don't know how this was possible, but Harren the Black has died to Visenya on Rhaegar. Visenya on Vhagar. Maybe because he was raiding? I don't know. Nothing popped up, but maybe it's a bug. Anyway, we're going to go try and claim the Lordship of the Rush so we can take and found King's Landing. So we're going to go to war with the Ironborn for the first time officially. We're going to win a small little battle here just outside the Aegon Fort, and then we're going to start chipping away those Crownlander claims, the riverlands, and then the Iron Islands, I suppose. So we're going to try and take the Rush. Perfect. Because the king as well, landed in King's Landing. Let's move north against the Ironborn. Vhagar is going to town on Maester Harris of Fairmarket. Here come the Ironborn, crushed again, and we've managed to imprison the new lord. Okay, so now we've managed to take the Rush. We can found King's Landing now and start building it up, which is going to take quite some time. The 7 gates of King's Landing. We'll also be able to build like the Dragon Pit and stuff. We'll eventually burn Harrenhal to a crisp. Okay, let's make King's Landing our capital. Let's reclaim King's Landing and make it the official capital of the 7 kingdoms. Let's fix up our court here slightly as well. And we're going to be able to bring in a lot of Valyrian courtiers. As you forget, there's still a bunch of essentially like dragon seeds and stuff on Dragonstone. There is a lot of descendants of old Valyria that are going to serve in our court. So we managed to imprison the Queen of Hightower, basically. Interesting. So House Hoar married into Old Town. Interesting. Okay. Well, we're going to have to give out those titles as well. So here is the court in King's Landing. Here is the Iron Throne. And we can't put the painted table there. We got any other artifacts? The banner of House Targaryen. Oh yeah, we captured all those other banners as well as trophies. Let's make this look a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. There we go. Let's just chuck up our other trophies. Of those minor houses. Sure. Okay, so it's probably time to deal with all of these. So I think we give the High Lordship of Dragonstone to my son and heir, Prince Aenys, who is 7. Eventually. Oh, well, we probably could give it to him now. It'd be held in a regency, but that should be okay. We still have Oris as well, just to make things a little bit more tidier. Because we got to deal with this situation now. We can't seem to consolidate a bunch of these. I'm not too sure why. Like, it's sometimes easy just to form a bunch of new titles. Alright, so we're going to continue on the Targaryen tradition of giving the heir to the Iron Throne Dragonstone. We still have Sharp Point as well. So let's give it to a couple of these courtiers. Because I kind of want to grow more Valyrian houses if we can. Let's try and negotiate some alliances where we can. Because all those minor lords that we took... Yeah. I just kind of wish there was more ancient Valyrian houses. Because there's only the Celtigars and House of Velaryon. So I would like more, ideally. Alright, so Lord Paramount of Dragonstone, yes, we'll make sure he has this. And we've still got all these other ones as well. We've still got too many. We've still got 16 to deal with. There's so many of them. Alright, so let's try and give some of these to established courtiers. Okay, so maybe to you. Maylor. Yeah, there we go. Found you a royal house. So he's Faith of the Seven, but he's also of Valyrian culture. Okay. It's going to get to a point we're going to run out, I think. Yeah, here we go. So, why did this pop-up not happen before? Grant to a noble house of high Valyrian culture. Sure, let's do that. And make some Valyrian houses. Alright, so we're going through here and just giving them to those of House Valyrian. So Aegon of Stonecliff is now going to be a new house. Strongbox as well. Point Slide, because I feel like most of those houses just got burnt to a crisp when we came in with Balerion as well. It's time to reappoint the small council. So Visenya is our queen. We'll put Rhaenys as our counselor, Master of Law. Seems like Aegon probably likes Rhaenys more. The favour of the two sister wives. And we'll bring in those new loyal houses. We're going to continue to develop King's Landing where we can and grow it into a prosperous capital. And there's no more decisions we can do in there at the moment. Alright, so I would love to redeclare war upon House Hoar and bring the Riverlands under my control. However, it's just been too soon. So we're going to look to go to war against the Storm Kings instead. I'd love to go and burn Harrenhal, conquer the Riverlands, but not just yet. So we're going to go after the Storm King and bring House Durrandon under our control. And we'll try and marry Robert Baratheon to the Storm King's daughter. And allow Robert Baratheon, my rumoured bastard brother, to take the seat at Storm's End. Okay, so 14,000 Stormlanders have landed just south of King's Landing. Let's go deal with them. Vhagar is just going to town. We haven't seen much of Balerion. Oh no, there we go. But overall, it's just been Vhagar doing some num-nummies. Alright, so we've just crushed the army. Let's go for the second. Make sure we vaporize both of them. Okay, we've lost Lord Aegon. And, oh! One of our courtiers. Minor lords. But the Storm King is now dead. And a Storm Queen now rules in his place, his daughter. And we'll try and marry Oris to her. Okay, still sieging out Storm's End. We'll use Balerion the Black Dread. Yeah, but many will burn inside. It's always a little bit risky doing that because there's a chance we can get, well, injured, as you can see there. Ugh, yikes. Rhaenys has had a daughter, which is nice. Oh, okay, so we're going to just have to wait to siege this out. Oh, no. Wait, hang on. The Storm Queen is dead. Oh, no. Uh-oh. And House Tarth rules? Let's name him Aemond. We need a new Kingsguard member. Okay, so now House Connington rules. It's just because we've gone through so many Stormlanders. Alright, so let's enforce our demands and see how we go. So, I tried to keep it as canon friendly, but it's Crusader Kings, so anything can happen. So it looks like Lord Raymond of House Connington had the better claim. So, we'll strip... So, what can we do? We can strip the title as he bends the knee before me. Oh, okay. So this is going to complicate things. Yikes. Alright. Well, we'll strip it, and what are we going to do with the Stormlands now? We need a new house to rule it, I guess. Okay, well, guess what? Unfortunately, Robert Baratheon died in that war anyway. And House Durrandon is really no more. The Tarths ruled briefly due to the marriage alliance. So, Connington took the hold of the, well, the command of the Stormlanders at one point. So we've got a decision to make. Robert Baratheon is dead. The Storm King and the Princess died as well. So even if we gave it to Oros and then tried to find another Stormlander, it's not going to work. We've managed to bring in a bunch of Stormlanders into our court, so I might reassign. I kind of want to make Rhaenys the hand of the Queen, actually, even though she's not martially suited. But, yeah, we've got a decision to make. Do we raise, like, House Tarth? House Connington? I'm not too sure. We can finally give Aegon the crown of the Conqueror. There's no other trinkets and stuff here. We're going to have to make a decision here. Who is another loyal house? Like Estamont? I'm not too sure. We can't give any other stuff to my sisters. No, we can't. Okay, so we hold the Lord Paramountcy of the Stormlands. So there's a bunch of potential candidates here. I'm sure there's probably some law friendly, but yeah, he was slain in battle, and House Baratheon is not going to exist in this timeline. So, and even with House Durrandon as well, if you look, the line has like died out here. So she had Tarth ancestors, so we have to find a new house. Yeah, he was slain. She was taken out by Dragonfire. He has a small connection to House Durrandon. Okay, I'm going to make the decision. I think House Coerres, a old Valyrian house, is going to rule the Stormlands. And ideally we'll try and get them to marry into the Stormlander line. So we're going to give Quentin Coerres of the red and black and white skulls. He has 2 sons. We'll give him the Lord Paramountcy of the Stormlands. And we're going to have to land him though. We can give him Hayford, and that'll be fine. So Quentin Coerres, and then Coerres, I think that's how you say it, is going to be the new lords in the Stormlands. So House Coerres is going to rule from Storm's End, and ideally we'll try and get them to marry and intertwine with the Stormlander locals. It's time to bring more of the 7 kingdoms under our control. Still can't go after House Hoare in the Trident just yet, so let's go against House Gardner in the Reach. Let's go and try and subjugate the king. The Lannisters potentially could help them, but ultimately we'll turn it to the field of fire, I suppose. So, House Targaryen and House Coerres of the Stormlands is going to help us out. Okay, so the Gardeners are here with 21,000, and Vhagar has managed to annihilate King Mern, and the King of the Reach is no more. Orphanmaker we've managed to seize. We're seizing a bunch of Valyrian steel. We might be able to give it to some of our loyal Valyrian houses in the Crownlands. Jeez, Meraxes now going to town. Okay, so the King of the Vale wants me to bring him. No, no, he can stay. He's staying here. I can't. Yeah, I'm not going to give him like political amnesty or protection. Okay, so we've crushed the Reach armies there. Let's go to Highgarden. Alright. Let's burn it just a little bit. I do love Highgarden in the books. Okay. Maker sounds a better name. Okay, I don't want to completely destroy the beautiful city. Yeah. Highgarden was an absolute joke in the Game of Thrones show. Oh, we've taken Heartsbane, which is nice. Still besieging Highgarden. Not too much longer. Invalid target. Oh, why does that happen? That's so annoying. Okay, so House Gardner is no more. And I guess we have to go again. So House Florent is now ruling the Reach through marriage. So, unless it's a cadet branch. Alright, hang on. Let's disband and we go again. It's just because we go through so many faction leaders. Oh, so King... You're right. Okay, so it's technically House Gardner through the marriage alliance. King Gawain is imprisoned. Alright, let's redeclare war and go again. Because there hasn't been much time, the armies are still going to be incredibly weak. Nearly finished Gallant though, which is nice. So now House Florent, technically, through the marriage of House Gardner rules. Alright, bear with me. We go again. Boros, absolute giant. Oh my god. Faith of R'hllor, Tyroshi. Yeah, let's allow him to sit the Kingsguard, sure. We still haven't properly developed the Kingsguard just yet. Nice. And I guess we can just go straight for Brightwater Keep. Oh, nice. And that's it. We won in the Reach. So, the Reach has now submitted to the Iron Throne. And it looks like the Riverlands is like breaking up. And Alan Redskull has now become the leader of House Querez after the death of his father. Now, can I marry him off eventually? That would be ideal. We might even marry, potentially some of our daughters into this line. So, House Florent is ruling the Reach by proxy at the moment through marriage alliance. I guess we went through a fair few gardeners. It seems like an Osprey, yeah, is at the heir. So we can form the Kingdom of the Reach. Do we want to do that? Probably not. We can probably want to create the High Lordship of the Blackwater. And we don't want to do the Kingdom of the Stormlands and stuff, probably. Because that will give them that title. So, even though we can create those titles, we probably don't want to do that. But it looks like the Riverland Lords have broken up from Ironborn rule. I think that's a bug during the bookmarks. We're ransoming out everyone we captured from the Reach, which will allow us to eventually build up King's Landing. We don't need to give out and divvy up the vassal ships just yet. Okay, yeah, so there is a fair few members of House Gardner left. Lord Gawain is married to a Florent woman. But yeah, House Gardner is ruling the Reach. We could give it to the Tyrells, but I think that's fine. We'll like this alternative timeline, this alternative canon, which we are forming, I suppose. Okay, so we've got a couple Kingsguard members here. We could even maybe put some of my sons on the Kingsguard, because we've just got so many of them. They would be loyal to Aegon, but we haven't fully fleshed it out just yet. Okay, so we've got the Kingdom of the Iron Islands here. It's time to go to war with them. So it looks like we're going to be able to bring some of it under our control. But it looks like House Bracken and House Blackwood have declared their independence of being high lordships. So, let's go against the Ironborn in the Riverlands. Let's push up and take Rosby and Stokeworth. Here come the Ironborn. Harren the Black is now dead, died to Vagar in a raid. Aegon is here with Balerion, and now this time we're going to ruin Harrenhal and burn it to a crisp. Harren the Black thought the walls would protect him and his descendants. No more. Harrenhal has been destroyed. It's now a ruin. Daughter. Rhea, sure. Let's try and run down some more Ironborn where we can, if they don't just kite us around the map. Vhagar descends. Nice. Let's move to Fairmarket. Hargo. I guess it's like a descendant of Hargo Hote. Sure. Let's bring him into the King's Guard. You forget Hargo Hote ruled Harrenhal at one point. We'll seize control of it. Alright. Just going to go around and try and capitulate more of the Riverland houses. Okay. Aenys has now come of age, which is nice. Alright, the Ironborn are back. Let's crush another army. 72% to capitulation. Oh my god, Vhagar killed a Greyjoy. Not too much longer now. Alright, now it's pinged here to Stokeworth, which is interesting. We are just going through House Hoa. Another fort. Nice. And they've capitulated. Let's enforce our demands. And now a good chunk of the Riverlands and the Iron Islands is now under Aegon's control. Alright, let's have a quick family tree check, I suppose. But Aegon's now 44 now. House Hoa rules some of the Riverlands and a good chunk of the Iron Islands as well. But it just looks like a bunch of factions seeded from them. We managed to get rid of so much of the family tree, but there's still so many Hoas. I think in this alternative timeline, due to the two kings falling, we can allow this princess to rule. I think we'll go down strategist at the moment, because Aegon does seem to get injured quite a bit. We seem to be still quite aggressive with him. So, Aenys the White Dragon is now 19. We want to try and get him married off as well. So let's have a look at the family tree. So Aegon has a bunch of sons. Aegon 16. Maegor the Cruel, we sent to the Citadel. He's now an acolyte, so he'll become a maester. So he'll never become a crazed man. Ares looks a bit mad. We've got Aerion, Daemon as well. And Aegon did have some daughters, Rhaenys and Rhea. So let's... And then we've got Prince Aemond and then young Maekar as well. So let's combine those lines, I think. We'll go from eldest daughter to eldest son. So I think we can't really do anything else here. No, not in the decisions tree. Alright, let's sort this out. Let's pay off that ransom. And then we'll look to go after the remaining river lords, I guess. Probably time to hold court as well. It's been quite some time. Yes, the Iron Throne is of many peoples. Let's go with assimilation. Let's build a fort. I think, yeah. Let's protect them. Nothing too crazy. Or overly that interesting in my opinion. No major lords came before us. Okay. Yeah, so Duskendale. It seems like some of the lords have actually sworn fealty to the Vale. Bram's Fort is now ceded as well. It's like the Hoas can't control the river lords there. Yeah, it's I think it's just because of the bookmark, honestly. It tends to bug. It's not recommended using the bookmark and other submods for it. So I think we're going to go around here and gobble up all these small little houses because I think they're gaining enough autonomy to then challenge their title and then they cede off. So let's bring in Bram's Fort. Oh no! Visenya! Died under mysterious circumstances. Oh no. Vhagar has now gone wild Oh no! He was one of our most capable nuclear weapons. He did so good in this series. Well, maybe that gives Aenys an opportunity to ride her. And we also haven't had any clutchlings of dragon eggs yet as well, so maybe that's a bug. I could force it, I guess. Alright, so Aenys has now been married off. Aegon as well. Aerys will probably look to marry off eventually as well. Aerion. We could even make Aerion on Daemon like a Kingsguard member, potentially. I did see in House of Velaryon there was a daughter here, Nerys Velaryon. Yeah, so let's marry her to whoever is remaining as my elder son. Aerys, I believe. Let's send off that proposal. And it's just getting to the point where my sons are teenagers now. They need to be betrothed and married off. And Rhea Velaryon can get married off too. We'll start with the second most prestigious Valyrian house, House of Velaryon. We'll go to the Crab Lord, House Celtigar. They have a cool Valyrian steel axe. So, and who have we got here? Oh, okay, unfortunately, Jane got married off. Irena Celtigar. So, darker hair. It should be okay. Aemond will marry her. Perfect. An alliance has been formed with them. Let's get those off. Make sure my children in line continues. Oh, damn. Okay, so Quentin, yeah, passed away some time ago. Why isn't Alan... Oh. Well, that's why he hasn't had any children, and he's refusing to get married off. He's 44. He did have a brother, Alton. She had a daughter, Larissa Coheres. He passed away. Hang on, maybe I marry Larissa Coheres to one of my sons, Maekar. Will that work? Oh, if I go with matrilineal line, that will work, but then he's not born into House Targaryen. That's okay, but then if the blood of the dragon's in there, it should be okay. Maekar the marriage. Maekar. That will work. Yeah, so House Coheres will continue, but will be House Targaryen slightly. Oh, well, I guess Oris was the half-brother. Why can't House Coheres be, well, half a dragon, I guess. Alright, so Maekar, the younger son, is going to go over there and marry into House Coheres. Nice. So Coheres holds the Stormlands. The Gardeners still hold the Reach, and House OR as well to some extent. Alright, so Duskendale refuses Hoar rule, so let's go after the Darklands and bring them under our control. It's just taking so long to do Aegon's Conquest because the Lords are being so defiant. It's been like 20 years or so. Okay, still sieging out Duskendale. It's going to fall now. We'll bring it under our control. Greyjoys are starting to raid us and the sisters. Okay. Alright, so let's move against Rollingford. And they're north of Old Yoke. And then I guess we go after the Brackens and the Blackwoods. Okay, Meraxi's going to town this time. Another lord has submitted. Okay, now we're too high, so let's grant them to Valyrian cultures. It's just too, like, I don't even know who the proper lord of some of these houses are, so let's just give them out to Valyrian courtiers. Like, who is the... I don't know the lordship of Boroholo or Pharaoh Crossing or whatever. And I can't be bothered looking it up. And it's probably actually better if we seize them, remove their houses, bring in loyal Valyrian houses, and then we can intertwine and marry with, and then keep the blood of old Valyria more so in Westeros. They're probably more loyal to me as well. Bringing in founding new houses. So, Lord of Rush... Yes, we can't consolidate any of these, from what I'm aware. It's because we're creating the lordships in a lot of these and high lords. Alright, so Lord Edwin, let's go after you. You've got, I guess he's a Faith of the Seven fanatic, which is kind of cool. Let's move north, bring him under Aegon's control. Okay, so it looks like Osgrey, I think I said Osprey before. Lord Wilbert Osgrey has demanded his independence. Interesting. So his relative, the Florent woman, was ruling in Regency, essentially. Okay, so it looks like House Osgrey has risen to be the Lord Paramount of the Reach. Okay, so we'll quickly deal with the Faith fanatics here. Oh no, Maekar died. How? Maekar the Mad Dragon died of consumption at the Citadel. Okay, I guess that works. So it looks like the Reach Lords have backed House Osgrey. Okay. Jeez. This is such a hard campaign even with dragons. Oh no, my son's been nice and good, but we might lose this battle here. Nope, we got dragons. House Massey, House Coeras is coming. All right, so I believe we should go with a terror campaign now. We crushed so many members of House Gardner. House Florent ruled in Regency as a cadet branch. She was married to a Gardner. Now, Osgrey wants to rule the Reach. The Valyrian still Evergold. Right, let's take their capital. Okay, cold mode is now ours. Thank God we don't have to siege Highgarden constantly. House Coeras. New commander. Oh, a Stark or a Snow, actually. Oh, wait, we've captured him. Hang on. Let's enforce our demands. Oh, he's accepting. Hang on. Why is it taking so long? Right, there we go. Alright. So, House Osgrey rules the Reach. Wilbert is in the Dungeon of the Red Keep, though. So, he's got Gardner blood, I'm assuming. Interesting. So, House Osgrey will rule the Reach in this alternative timeline. Yeah, we're going very far off canon. So, yeah, interesting that the Osgreys ruled them. The Florents, the Hightowers, the Osgreys were pissed when the Tyrells took it, so it actually might be more realistic and sensible. Because the Tullys and, yeah, both the Tyrells are relatively new houses to be Lord Paramounts. Okay, so we can't demand conversion, we can't banish. Yeah, why can't he? I'm trying to get the thing where he comes and bends the knee at the Iron Throne and we get to decide the title, but it's not working. Even the rocks split up, it looks like. Interesting. Alright. The Reach in the Riverlands has mostly been subdued. For some reason the betrothal broke. I don't know why. So let's reset this. No, we don't want to go matrilineal. Are they going to accept? Aegon's just a little bit stressed. It's like she became an adventurer a little bit or something and just left? Yeah. Okay, so let's move north. Still got most of the Iron Islands. So House Goodbrook hasn't bent the knee, so we'll bring them under our control. Then we'll push up against the Brackens and the Blackwoods, who declared their independence from the Iron Islands and ruling themselves in their own high lordship over their lands. No paramountcy. Alright. Sieging them out. Not too much longer now before Lake Haven falls. Nice. They've capitulated and they'll be folded into the riverlands. Saw Malden. Shore of Horncross. Of slight Durandon blood. Okay, so House Bracken we want to try and bring it under our control, and then the Blackwoods. And then I guess we go after the Vale and House Lannister. And then the North eventually, as Aegon pushes into his 50s soon. Let's try and run down the Brackens, who are now besieging Riverrun. Nice. Surrounding the county in multiple areas of attack. Nice. And they've capitulated, but the Blackwoods have declared war upon me. They saw the Brackens fall. Like, hey, only we can bully them. So let's move north. Merge. Just moving around the riverlands a bit weirdly. Nice. None of these events overly matter. Okay. Let's surround the Blackwoods. Look to capitulate them. Not too much longer now. Make sure our armies try and take a bunch of castles. Well, Aegon focuses on the armies, really. Nice. And the Blackwoods have capitulated, and we brought them into our control. Whoa, the mountain and the Vale. What? House Aaron rules the Westerlands. How? Oh, is that what that war was when it was split up? Oh, interesting. So House Tarbeck now rules Lannisport and the Westerlands. In a coup d'etat, the Aarons have backed a war there. So here's our family tree. Aenys has now had a bunch of children. Aerys as well. Maekar in House Coera has had some children. So they've all been married off. Jeez. So, looks like Aegon's line will continue quite well. Let's make sure we combine those lines as well when we can. Yeah, so House Coeres is going to be like a cadet branch of House Targaryen. Nice. And Visera to Maynard. Sure, let's get that married off. Cool. I can't believe Maegor died. Aegon's still yet to be married off. Daemon and maybe Aerion. Oh no, we can invite Daemon to be a member of the Kingsguard. Well, let's do that, yeah. Let's make one of Aegon's sons a Kingsguard member. It's something he always wanted to do and be. At 23 with a massive looking beard. Daemon Targaryen is going to renounce his claim and join the Kingsguard to protect his father. And then House Coeras, we can marry those... yeah, we'll see. Twins, though. Larissa Coeras. But they do look like Targaryens, too. So I guess we've somehow managed to put Targaryen blood on the Stormlander throne. You forget in Robert's Rebellion, they kind of highlighted in the books a bit more, but... yeah, Robert's main claim for the Iron Throne was through the small little bit of Targaryen blood through his ancestor Orys and his grandmother, I believe. Okay, so this is fascinating. So, King Rondel married a Tarbeck woman. So the Lannisters have been pushed back. So House Tarbeck, through that marriage alliance, has given him a claim. That's so interesting. There must be some Lannister blood there as well. Okay, so if we can capitulate the Aarons here, we should be able to bring in the Westlands. Yeah, so... oh, okay. So it looks like House Lannister has nearly died out a little bit. They're married into House Brax, but they've been pushed off the coast there. Interesting. Kind of like the Rains, I guess, in this scenario. Alright, let's declare war upon the King of the Vale. So we can't, like... no, we don't want to fight for the Lannisters, I think. So that should square things up. If we can conquer them, I don't know if I really care that the King of the Vale controls both the East and the West. Same with House Hoar ruling the Iron Islands and Riverlands as one united title. Interesting, this alternative timeline. It's kind of cool. Alright, let's rally as many men as we can, and we'll look to try and conquer the Vale and the Westerlands as House Aaron and a coup d'etat has put House Tarbeck on the Westerland throne. But ultimately, that's how it works. He ultimately is ruling with the marriage. Alright, so here are the Knights of the Vale. 50,000 of them. A coalition between the Westerlands and the East, and we've managed to take their banner. So I guess in this timeline, the Lannisters back... Well, the Westerland forces, rather said, back the Arryns rather than the Gardeners. Right, let's use Balerion on the Eyrie and continue to siege it out. It's going to take quite some time, though. Still sieging out the Vale. Let's move Aegon and the 12,000 to intercept this army. Oh, nice. We've managed to imprison the king as we're sieging the Vale. And they've capitulated. So now we've got the Vale and the Westerlands under our control. Perfect. Okay. So he's got both the titles. Interesting. Well, I guess now we look to go north. And then we've got to deal with the Dornish. But we might leave them. Because, yeah. Targaryens don't do the best down in Dorne. We'll see, though. Yeah, and he even died as well. Okay, well, let's move our rally point to Ironwater, because we're so far away from the north, and it's going to take so long to conquer as well. Torrhen Stark is alive? What? The dude's in his 70s? How is he still alive? He's like one of the only lords. Yeah, 73. Oh my god, on the verge. Okay. So let's move north. He might be able to tell us about the prophecy on his deathbed, maybe. Alright. Let's move up and take the north. The north is always super annoying to take, as it's just so vast. Alright, let's move north. Okay, so the Starks have intercepted us in the neck, but we have 40,000 of dragons. We only have Meraxes and Balerion, as Vhagar is roaming about. What is that sound? There's an ambush in the neck. Damn. Oh, wow. Right, let's try and deal with them, I suppose. Interesting. Not too many of them, though, to really matter. So, yeah. We haven't got the option to give a clutchling of eggs to any of my sons, but that's okay. That's probably the bookmark doing. And there's no dragon pit, I suppose, so that's probably why. We haven't built it yet. But I'm surprised none of my sons have tried to tame Vhagar. Not a single one of them. I do believe there are other dragons that have been given birth, but we haven't had the option. Another ambush here. Alright, so once we take Moat Cailin, this should stop. Oh no! And Rhaenys has now died. 56. And there goes Meraxes. So Aegon is no longer married to the two dragon riders. Visenya somehow died in mysterious circumstances. It probably was Rhaenys, but who knows. Alright. Balerion doing Balerion things. Blasting as Moat Cailin's about to fall. And then we'll try and spread out in the north and try and take the other cities in the north. So King Brandon now rules after Torrhen's death. We'll look to try and take White Harbour from the Mandalese, who left the Reach, now rule in the north. Alright, let's spread out our armies to Barrowtown, to the Fingers. Alright, let's try and take Flint's Finger. Barrowtown. We're trying to take Winterfell with Aegon. Okay, a small army's gone down there. We've still got the Dreadfort, Last Hearth, Carhold as well. We'll send those 9,000 to try and intercept those 4,000 Starks. It should be okay. We should have enough. Flint's Finger is about to fall. An army has popped up at Moat Cailin to try and retake it. Although we don't need to fight armies necessarily. We still don't want them to take castles off me and make sure Aegon intercepts the army. Nice. Alright, let's continue to siege. It looks like we're just going through the Starks at the moment. Queen Larissa now rules. Okay, so there's been 2. Alright, the Dreadfort is now under siege. I can't see the Starks coming back from this. Let's burn the Dreadfort just a little bit. %80 towards capitulation. Widow's Watch is about to fall. We're besieging Last Hearth now with Aegon. Wait, invalid target. That's so annoying. Is it because it's been too long? Can no longer be subjugated. Why? Is it because we went through 2 faction leaders and timer? That's annoying. I feel like we've encountered that a lot where it's just timed out. But now we can go after King Torrhen II. Like, who are you? Brandon, Roderick, Brandon. Okay. And then Torrhen. Maybe you just go through so many faction leaders like the war isn't valid. Anyway, let's redeclare war. They've only got 3,000. The annoying thing is they're not going to capitulate until we spread out and siege again properly. So hang on. We're going back north again. Bear with me. Okay. I'm not going to lie, this particular series has been a little bit annoying to record. I think it's because of the bookmark, more or less. Oh, perfect. We got luck there. Right, okay. So we're not going to have to go around sieging the north again. He's just going to submit. The Starks have now bent the knee. Perfect. And the 7 kingdoms, but Dorne, are now fully under our control. Although the Westerlands and the Vale and the Riverlands and the Iron Islands are like one kingdom. Okay, let's go through and ransom. So, it's not 7 kingdoms, it's 4 kingdoms at the moment. And those ransoms have now officially been accepted as well. Perfect. Alright, it's time to bring in Dorne into the 7 kingdoms. Hopefully this time around they bend the knee and not going to be called princes. Now, there's been a bit of a power shift down here. House Martell has kind of dissolved. House Rhaegar has inherited the Principality of Dorne. There's like 2 Martells left. One is a Maester. And I guess they have a claim through House Blackmont there. Okay, so let's move the rally point down south. Well, because it was so far in the north. And let's bring Dorne under our control. Vhagar, I'm sure is going to be happy to be back down in Dorne. Alright, let's burn some Dornish. Oh, no! Oh, wait, did they capitulate? They did. They bent the knee. I didn't expect that. Well, he does have a daughter. Sand. Maybe, actually, for role-playing purposes, as Aegon doesn't have any, wives, how about we marry into House Rhaegar? Yeah. And there's obviously a bit of Dornish claim there. Faith of the Seven, Sand Dornish. And that was the deal. Bend the knee and I'll marry your daughter. Interesting. So the 7 kingdoms have officially been conquered by Aegon the Conqueror. Okay, so let's have a quick look at how things changed. Aegon is now 62. Both of his sister wives are no more. House Coheres, with my son Maegor, rules the Stormlands. House Osgrey rules the Reach. House Hoa rules the Riverlands and the Iron Islands in a coalition. And House Arryn rules the Vale and the Westerlands through a coalition as well. So, and then we've got the Starks in the north as well. So it's not the 7 kingdoms, it's the 4 kingdoms in this alternative timeline. And now Aegon can finally construct the Dragon Pit and King's Landing proper. Here are his children. His line is very much secure and even has some cadet branches growing out of it. Maegor is no more either. And on that note, unfortunately, it's time to wrap things up here. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully, if you enjoyed the conquest of the 7 kingdoms, let me know in the comments if you would like to see a second part. This recording session has been a little bit difficult because we are using the bookmark submod, which is not quite compatible at this stage. So there's been a couple weird oddities here and there. So hopefully you enjoyed this non-canon run of Aegon the Conqueror. Would you like to see more of this world, or maybe we should move on to another campaign? Like and subscribe if you haven't already, would really much appreciate it. Let me know in the comments feedback and suggestions as always. I'll try and get back to you. Comment for the algorithm. Stay tuned for more Crusader Kings 3 Game of Thrones mod on Simpzy Total Warfare, and we might even do some other Crusader Kings mod. Maybe Elder Scrolls, maybe some Lord of the Rings. Let me know in the comments. Much love from Australia. I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.